Did you feel like extra pressure, like playing Hulk Hogan, like playing the Michael Jordan of wrestling? Like,
yeah, because people would say stuff like that, like he's the Michael Jordan of that. And I'm like, oh, you're right. You're so right. You're listening to Studio 22.
welcome to Studio 22. I'm Will Meldman. I'm here with my co-host and my guest today, Brock O'Hearn.
Dun, 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 dun. You've never seen a guest / co-host before, have you? It's the first time.
It's the first time. Today is going to work a little bit differently. I am going to interview Brock, and it's going to be really fun. He's our guest, so just pretend like he's our guest.
Be our guest. Be our guest. You know what that's from?
Aladdin?
Close. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
I don't know why that came out, but it did, and here we are, and we're continuing on.
All right, perfect.
I just want to say thank you for not introducing me as a guest / co-host and a co-host / guest.
Yeah, you know, you gotta go co-host first.
Isn't that what the line is or something like that? Actor / model or model.
All the slashes.
When Fabio does that in Zoolander.
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Fuck, what did he say?
So that was the Slashy Award. That's kind of where I pulled that from. And then he goes, "Thank you. I just want to say thank you for introducing me as the actor / model, not the model /
in the very beginning.
Yeah,
in the very beginning.
So good.
Yeah.
I see Fabio all the time at the gym. All the time. We always say what up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of like hair bros, but not really. But kind of.
He's another 90s legend.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking.
The world's first male supermodel, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Huge.
Dude, I modeled when I first started in my journey out here to LA to kind of chase my dreams. And once I started acting, I had no desire to model. And because it sometimes feels like, obviously Zoolander was a heightened version, but it kind of feels like that. You got to do this posy model and, movements and it's sometimes very stiff or manufactured, I guess. And once I started acting, I fell in love with being real, being in a moment, and it kind of took away any kind of desire for modeling. Yeah. Obviously, I'd still like to, shoot some big campaigns and work with some awesome brands and stuff like that, So, but
yeah, like the Johnny Depp cologne line.
Yeah. But it's easy to see why, exactly, like Savage.
Savage.
But it's easy to see why there's a movie like Zoolander out there to make fun of it and poke fun, because it's as well as it is, it's an awesome career to have, and you're very lucky to have that career if you do, and it's awesome. But
I think satire and parody is like, obviously imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, right?
Absolutely.
Like if you're parodizing something, it's technically a tribute and having fun with it a little bit. It's not like a direct insult.
Yeah. And we should all be able to make fun of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's,
I make fun of myself all the time.
Exactly. There you go. All right, dude, I'm excited for this. Yeah. You know what's funny is we always prepare so much as co-hosts, really researching our guests a lot of times and going deep dives into their back history and really trying to just do our due diligence. I've got no pressure right now, Dan. It's whatever comes out, comes out.
We're chilling. We feel good. We're happy. We're ready to rock. They're ready. You're ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready to Brock, baby.
That was almost too perfect. All right. Well, let me preface this a little bit. Some of my favorite shows of all time are NBC. The Office, Parks and Recreation. I mean, it's a legendary network, and now that you are a part of that legendary network on the Young Rock playing Hulk Hogan.
Ooh.
How does it feel to be a part of that team?
Eat your vitamins. Feels good. Feels real good. Honestly, playing Hulk, first off, I'll go into Hulk a little bit, is, because I'm still currently playing him actually, an absolute blast, dude. And learning so much about that guy's past, his journey. He was a musician early on, and then getting massive success in WrestleMania 1 and his early career, he just blew up. He's a superstar instantly, dude. And he's always been a showman, right? But one thing I found through and through was that he's not only hyper intelligent from everything I've seen in interviews and everything I read about him, but he's also extremely hardworking, and he's a showman, dude. He's a showman. So I had fun stepping into that because it's so different from like my normal personality, my traits. Like I'm a little more reserved, I think I would say, and it's the same thing. You've got Terry Boella, and then you got Hulk Hogan, and that's like his alter ego. Essentially, it's incredible. So that was fun above, like first and foremost. But being on NBC who's the home of the shows like The Office, and so many great ones. The Young Rock being an incredible show, by the way. You should check it out on NBC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. NBC and Peacock. You should do it. It's great.
I had so much fun watching that first episode with you. And so now that you're playing Hulk, tell us a little bit more about that preparation that went into it, because I know you spent a lot of time researching and getting to know the character. So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've played and I've been fortunate to play a lot of and portray a lot of different characters on screen, and I hope that never goes away. It's the best job I could ever imagine, and it's the thing I love to do the most, to be honest with you. And diving into playing Hulk Hogan was probably the biggest challenge that I've gone to thus far. And that's one of my favorite things about the job is it's never the same thing, right? It's exciting. It's scary. It can be terrifying at times, but it's a challenge. And I'm always up to work as hard as I possibly can and rise to the occasion. And with Hulk, I got to do that. I got to learn as much as I possibly could in a short amount of time. I got to do what I love, which is eat and train as much as I possibly can, eat my vitamins. and it was awesome, man. And then to just dive deep into it. It's just somebody who's so iconic. The reason, WWE is what it is today is because of Hulk Hogan.
Oh, totally.
And then you get all the guys who surround him, and then they blew up too. And then, the passing of the torch to The Rock, and it's just like, and it's just this family, and they work so hard, man. And there's so much like history that is in WWE and wrestling in general, and it dates back so many different ways, and there's so many stories to be told. But man, what an honor it is to play Hulk Hogan. Absolute honor.
Hell yeah, man. And I mean, speaking of that history, I mean, I grew up watching, WWE, WWF with my older brother and our older cousins, and we'd get all hyped up for the big matches, and we're big fans. Did you grow up watching it, and what was your experience kind of in the past with it?
To be completely honest, I didn't grow up with it, and I wish I did. We didn't really have a lot of TV a lot of times, but there was still these impactful moments. I think that no matter where you were at least in the U.S., I didn't grow up outside of the States. I grew up in the States, and there was some influence of wrestling no matter where you went. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan and
Triple
H, dude, Randy Savage, like all these guys, one way or another, you heard about, or you saw something with them, or just the audience and the fan base alone that wrestling has is one of the strongest that I've seen in my entire life. It's incredible, and their loyalty to the wrestlers as well, that they really gravitate towards and are fans of and love. And it's just like, it's such an awesome thing. And I have a whole new respect and deeper understanding of the sport as a whole. It's one of the coolest things. I wish I knew sooner,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, speaking of that fan base as well, I mean, did you feel like extra pressure, like playing Hulk Hogan, like playing the Michael Jordan of wrestling? Like how was that?
Yeah, because people would say stuff like that, like he's the Michael Jordan of that, and I'm like, oh, you're right, you're so right. No, of course, man. And I can imagine, just like it is probably stepping into The Rock's shoes, or any of these great wrestlers that are on the show. And that's one of the coolest things about it is it's retelling the story in a really cool way and highlighting such key moments in Dwayne Johnson's life, right? This show, it's called Young Rock. It follows, Rock through his younger years. He was about 10, 15, and then his early 20s and everything. And then his current or future self, I guess. So with that, there was a little bit of pressure being relieved because most of the characters in the show are portraying somebody else. But at the same time, it's still Hulk Hogan. It's still some massive shoes to step into. And of course, I felt the pressure. I felt nervous. But at the same time, that nervousness, I fueled I turned into fuel and really tried to focus as much as I could into a character, you know, and in the short amount of time, and just do it as much justice as I possibly could.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Like in that first episode, you know, the entrance Hulk gets, as opposed to all the other wrestlers, like, I mean, you get the grand, like, right with Vince McMahon, and like everyone at the party's looking at you guys. So it's like, you could tell Hulk is, you know, royalty.
Yeah, Hulk, and that was what was so cool too, is you're stepping into these moments in history, really, and working with Becky Lynch, who's playing Cyndi Lauper, and you know Hulk Hogan's walking out with her, and they both had such a major impact in wrestling as a whole, and but seeing Becky Lynch do such an incredible job, and it's her acting debut, right? And then there's this big crowd of people, and you look out and you see, you know, Young Rock, and you see the Iron Sheik, you know, and all these guys, and it's just like, it's surreal because it feels like you're stepping back in time in a way, you know? It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, like being able to recreate like moments that actually happened in history with all these legends. I love that. I love that genre and that, you know, type of thing when shows do that.
It's such a cool way to tell a story, you know, and not every show gets to do that, obviously, but the fact that they're telling Dwayne Johnson's history and you get to see it, it's like you're living in that moment right there, and you're like, this is what it was like. This party was popping in the 80s, you know what I mean? Or 90s.
I mean, so it's another question about pressure, because not only are you portraying Hulk Hogan, but you're on a show with another legend, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, man.
So how was it like being on a show with The Rock, and is that extra pressure with like another superstar?
It is, but at the same time, I feel this strange sense of comfort when I'm working with people on a high level, you know, and especially someone as Dwayne Johnson. You're like, he has done so much for acting. He's done so much for the film industry, and he's such a, not only a pillar of light and a beacon of strength and hope and, you know, and hard work and everything, but he's just seems like such a kind person, man. And you get to see that throughout being on set, you know, throughout his career and throughout how he shows up in the world. But being on set, to go back to that, you see how his presence and the way he shows up has affected every single person in that room. You know, he's given everyone in that room an opportunity to work on an incredible show about his life. And not only that, their interpersonal experiences with him that you hear through everyone is just like, it's all true what they say. You know, he sounds like an incredible man, dude, and he's killing it. So it's inspiring, if anything. And it's like, I want to be able to give that back one day. You know, I want to be able to show up like that. And you know, being so close to it, it's like, oh, it's making it that much more real for me, at least, to be a part of it. Yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's cool.
And I love hearing that, right? And that's what makes people like him so big and so legendary, is like they're inspiring to the people they work with, right? Like you just said it, like, I want to give that back one day.
Yeah.
And man, that's so incredible. And so that kind of flows into the next question of, you know, what is it like on set? Are you grinding it out, like trying to hit the hours, or is it pretty relaxed, or what is it like?
I would say it's definitely a grind, in the sense that everyone on set, everybody that I met is working so hard, and everyone's trying to get, you know, all the work done that they need in the short amount of time that they have, and they're shooting episodes in a short frame, but the quality is incredible, the talent is incredible, the story is incredible, and so everyone's grinding. But at the same time, they filmed the first 2 seasons in Australia. Oh, wow. And during, you know, some of the biggest parts of the pandemic, so they were quarantined, and after spending so much time with the cast, I realized they became a family down there. You know, they spent all of their time with each other over, you know, however many months, 5, 6, 7 months. And I felt that camaraderie when I came to set in Memphis with them, right? And it was my first time meeting everybody, except for, you know, 1 or 2 people I had known from before. But seeing that camaraderie, seeing that family, and seeing how they all interact and hang out with each other and really enjoy each other's company, because they really have gotten to learn and know each other.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing is, like, it translates on camera. You can see it with their chemistry and the way, you know, certain jokes are made, and the way people gravitate towards each other, and how they react on screen. And it's like, it's the coolest thing, because that's such a rare, unique moment in time, I think, because of, you know, their time in Australia. A lot of shows and movies don't get that. A lot of times it's like the actors, okay, they're in their trailer and they come to set when they're ready, and then they go back to their trailer, or they go home for the day, or they go to their hotel, or whatever it may be. But to be together like a family, they became a family, and they welcome me with open arms, man, and I feel so grateful for that.
Yeah, I bet that's really nice to kind of come into, where everyone knows each other really well, just like you said, and gets along and enjoys working together. Sounds lovely, honestly. It's not always the case.
Yeah. And on that point too, like, I grew up being the new guy all the time. I switched high schools 9 times, elementary school, I don't even know, middle school 4 or 5, I don't know how many times, a lot. And I got used to being the new guy. But what I saw everywhere I went was people who had their cliques that they've known for years, or they've been friends with. And it used to make me, I think a part of me was a little bit jealous, but at the same time, I was envious, of like, I want that. I'm never going to have that because I'm never going to be in one place long enough. But what I got out of it was the opportunity to meet people, and to, when I go into a situation like that, just like on Young Rock, I felt as soon as they, opened up, which was immediately, I fit right in, and it was like just a big family there, man. So it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, I love hearing that. So I feel like the question everyone wants to know, have you met The Rock yet? And has he come to set, or what has that been like?
I know he's come to set, but I did not meet him yet. So I believe, and I'm hoping, because it would be such an honor to meet him in person when I go back to film some more, that I'll get to meet him then. But yeah, no, all I've got now is just word of mouth and stories around set, and get to watch his films and be a part of an incredible show. So I haven't met him yet, but I look forward to one day meeting him. Absolutely.
Who are some of the other characters and cast members that you share the majority of your scenes with, and that you've, gotten to know throughout the process?
Coming up, I spent some time doing scenes with Uli, who plays the older Young Rock, or the oldest version of the Young Rock. And he is a big boy. All right, he's my size, and he probably even has a couple pounds on me, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big boy, man. But just a genuine, down-to-earth, super kind guy who's extremely talented, man. And being on set and seeing him do his thing with the pressure of playing Dwayne Johnson, right?
Right.
He stepped right in, and he fits the role perfectly. And if anything, my hat's off to casting and obviously all the producers and everyone involved in the show who cast him, and so many of the others, like Stacy, who plays his mother, Anna, who plays his grandmother. She's hilarious, dude. She's so cool. I loved working with her. And there's just so many awesome people, man, that it truly is like, it's so cool to see good people doing good things and great things, and to be a part of something that's so special and unique in its own right. It's cool. A lot of good people on set, man. A lot of good people.
It's crazy how close Uli's voice sounds like Dwayne, right? Like when I was watching that, and like, cause he's like the young adult Dwayne, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he sounds exactly like him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so wild, man. Like I said, it's just the casting they did is phenomenal, and Uli is such a talent, man, and they really he's embodied it, and it's like there's so many times you're like, I feel like that is The Rock, you know what I mean? Like that, and then you put him in the environment and the story that's being told in the moment in time, and it all connects, dude. So it's just like hitting the nail on the head, and it's cool to witness as well as be a part of, right? But I'm a big fan of his work, a big fan of everyone on that show's work, and shout out to Ryan Pinkston also. He's a great friend of mine. He plays his manager, who they have a very awesome intertwined story. And it's just hilarious. Ryan kills it, and he's so funny, dude, and such a great friend who I knew. He's actually the one person I knew before ever going to film. I've known him. We did like skits in the alleyways with friends wow. 7-8 years ago, He's a great guy, man.
So what would you say the primary differences between shooting a film and shooting for a television show, specifically network? Because, if you're on HBO or something like that, it might feel more like a film, long form narrative, but network television versus a film.
That's a great question. It's also a very hard question to answer, because every set I've ever been on has been different. It's And like network TV, because some of the platforms are network and streaming, right? Like HBO and a few others. But then there's films like Netflix and that are going on Netflix and stuff like that. But I would say my experience with NBC specifically was, it was impressive how much they got done in the time frame they had and on the schedule they have, because they went straight into filming, and within, I think a couple of 4 weeks, I don't know the exact timeline to be honest with you, but I think about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, they got ready to launch the premiere. And some films I've done a year and a half ago haven't even been released yet. And so it went from, I just filmed this. I filmed 5 or 6 TV shows, maybe more, since. And
you've been working so much this year, dude. It's been nuts.
It's been so fun, dude. I'm so grateful, man. And more to come. But, it's crazy because I filmed like 5 or 6, maybe 7 things at least since, in the last year. And none of those have come out yet. But the last thing I filmed most recently has already come out, and
because it's network.
Because it's network, exactly. So I think that's probably one of the biggest differences. But as far as working on set and everything, each set's different. Each one has their own special, unique quality and traits, and it's just fun. It's always fun for me to be on set, dude. I'll do it. I would do it if I wasn't getting paid. I have done it and not gotten paid. I would do it if the hours are 20 plus every single day, because that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. And that's what I love.
No, it's great to hear. And that makes sense where, the sets are pretty similar, but it's more about timing and release and all that. Because, when I was working on Ray Donovan, it felt like we were working on a film, right? Because we're doing one episode is 2 weeks, hour long, and it just feels like you're working on a movie.
Yeah.
So you can cross Hulk Hogan off the list. What other legends do you want to portray? Just like a wish list. If you could be anyone, what would be like your top 3?
Top 3. Oh, that's a good one.
Trying to stump you over here. I'm trying to be a good journalist.
One would have been plenty. One would suffice. Because of how much I enjoy being physical and physical roles as well. Like Hulk Hogan, I'm currently bulking up as much as I can.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I'm trying, and I'm eating everything.
Oh my God.
But I enjoy that because it's an extra element of hard work, right? On top of the craft. And it's something where, I see it as a challenge and I'm ready to attack it. So Hulk is definitely a great one, obviously, and I'm grateful to check that off the list. But Kane right here, which I'm going to have to work out a lot more than I did for Hulk. No offense to Hulk, but this guy is crazy. Is probably one of the top ones I would want to play, because we've been working on it for a year and we've created a universe, and the where his story goes and where it begins and where it comes from is so awesome. So I think that would be so fun, because not only is it something we created, but it's a character I deeply love and passion and want to tell his story, So that's one of them.
Love that answer.
Yeah. Hercules one day.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Would be one that I absolutely want to play. Maybe my own or somewhat different iteration of it, but than what's been told before. I think that would be a fun one. I don't have any problems trying to step into that role. I think Zeus would approve. I hope. We'll find out. Don't strike me down, dude.
Do you think you could do a better job than The Rock? A whole controversy.
This is where we bleep. We skip to the next part. And
we'll cut that out. We can cut that out.
No, it's fine. And the weather today is no, it's cool. And then the third one, who would the third one be? I don't know if I have a character in mind for the third one, but I would love to play a dad.
Oh.
I think that would probably be one of the most fun, fulfilling, rewarding, healing roles that I could play. So something in the dad spectrum.
Oh, I love that answer.
Yeah. A little different. Maybe I'll be a buff dad, you know what I mean? Reinvent the dad bod for everybody.
Buff daddy. It's perfect.
That's so good. That's so good. Oh, Bro, I think we have our next film.
I tried to get you right when you were drinking the water today.
You don't want me to spit that out. Trust me, it would go everywhere. Oh my gosh, that was so good.
What about networks? What other networks outside of NBC? I mean, you have Hulu, you have Netflix, you have HBO, and others. But what other networks do you think you'd want to work with?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Me too.
Yeah, I definitely, because of the way content's being made and how there's so much content and how much I love storytelling, I think if there's great story, I want to follow that. And regardless of what network it goes on, but like, I mean, I see incredible stuff that if we're talking about ones I haven't been on yet, on Apple TV, right? On Apple Plus. I've seen some incredible shows on there, incredible writing, cinematography, just story, everything, and the talent off the charts. Paramount Plus, is a good one.
You know what? Two other good ones would be FX and AMC. They're really good with long form narrative.
Absolutely, dude. Those are two. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going to say that next, dude.
Sorry, I took your answer.
No, but really, yeah, it comes down to as long as I'm having fun, man. You shoot it on an iPhone. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's obviously, maybe it's not obvious, but to me, it's more fun doing it on a greater scale with greater talent. All the time, man, because I grow every time that I work and I get better every time I work. And I kind of laugh about this sometimes because I was I think lucky is probably a good word for it, to get the first role that I did. I got an incredible opportunity from Tyler Perry, and it was so much fun and such a learning experience, but it was definitely like a boot camp too. And I was not technically prepared. The difference is I showed up and I did the work. And to learn and to see in that kind of arena is so awesome, because now I have a point where I can go back and look and be like, who the hell let me on air? But I'm so happy you did, because it's, kind of changed my path forever in the sense of I'm doing exactly what I want to do and what I set out to do and what I love. And I can only hope and wish and pray that it keeps continuing on and it gets, bigger and more grand every time. But no matter where it goes, I'm grateful and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
John Wooden said, luck is opportunity meets preparation. And I believe in that fully, right? Where if you break that down, it's essentially like the universe will support you if you're putting in the work and preparing, right? They'll present opportunities for you if you're willing to put in the work. 100%.
Yeah. And it's so funny you say that, because I was just writing something the other day that I was in my own head thinking about, my gratitude for my life, all the good things, all the bad things, right? No matter what it is, I'm great. I have gratitude for it, and I'm here today in this moment, present now, because of every one of them. And I've had this feeling of when opportunity knocks, show up, do the work, and it doesn't always happen. It doesn't always stay there either. I've had a very hot streak and then a very cold streak, and life kind of ebb and flows. But what I've found more than anything is whatever you put out into the world, into the universe, and however hard you work or however much you prepare is what you're going to get back. And sometimes it's even tenfold, so just keep giving and giving and giving. A lot of times don't expect to receive, and you'll be blessed in ways you can't even imagine.
Hell yeah. I love hearing that. That's good. That's soul food right there.
Soul food. Eat up, people.
That's good for the soul. So what can fans look forward to in the Young Rock with you coming up, and, what can you share about it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to share anything, but what I can share is, well, actually, this episode will be aired by the time the second episode comes out. So what I can share is we go to a different time stamp with Hulk Hogan and his interaction with The Rock. The first episode, spoiler, if you got to see it, it was his first interaction with Young Rock, the youngest version. It was about 10 years old, where he caught the headband, right? And
love that scene.
Yeah, in the second one, spoiler again, don't listen if you haven't seen it. Just go watch it and come back. Pause this, watch it, come back and finish this. And We got for a short period of time, Hulk Hogan turned into Hollywood Hogan, right? And he was kind of the bad guy, right? And it's so cool because he had this big black beard and totally different persona. And there was this moment that happened between Hulk and The Rock where The Rock, no matter what he did, I think he was still going by, he was Rocky Maivia. Was his wrestling name, and he wasn't really connecting with the fans, and no one really gravitated toward him, and they all hated him, man. They just hate him because he was inauthentic. And Hulk gives him this moment of, essentially go out and be yourself, man, and don't be afraid to do it, and take the risk, take the leap, and that's the secret recipe, you know what I mean? And then now we have The Rock. So that's such a cool moment for what's to come. You'll just have to keep watching because I'm not sharing any more than that. I'm only sharing that because it came out. And if you watch this without watching that, shame on you. Go back and watch it.
What about outside of the Young Rock? What other projects do you have coming out that you can share?
Yeah, so I've got a film on Netflix with Gina Rodriguez, who she's from Jane the Virgin. She plays Jane the Virgin. And it's called Players. It's going to be on Netflix December 1st, I believe. And, it's got Tom Ellis in it from Lucifer and Marlon Wayans Jr. and a couple other, my friend Liza Koshy. Dude, she's hilarious. She's so much fun. And truly, like when I read the character that she portrays, I was like, oh my gosh, Liza's going to elevate this to a whole nother level because the character's already great. Yeah, she's like, and I saw her take it to a whole nother level. So that's coming out. I think that's my first Netflix film, actually, that I'm a part of. So that's cool. Another network to check out the list, you know what I'm saying? And what else do I have? There's more of Young Rock coming, obviously, but a couple of projects that I can't. I mean, it's funny.
I
can't say yet. Yeah, and some are in production. If all goes well, I've got a movie called The Trainer that'll be coming out next year. And I worked with awesome people. Vito Schnabel is the director and producer, executive producer, and Tony Kaye, who did American History X, and he's an award-winning music video director, and he's just an awesome dude, man. So talented. But yeah, Bella Thorne, Steven Dorff, Paris Hilton's in it.
I love Steven Dorff. He's the man.
He's so cool, man. Yeah, I got to hang with him one time through Michael Thompson, our good buddy from Cross Creek Pictures.
Shout out to the Thompsons.
Yeah, I love all the Thompsons. Those are good people right there.
100%.
Yeah.
And our Tyler episode's out. I love that one.
Yeah, we'll link it below, right?
Yeah,
there we go,
baby.
Yeah, Tyler's he's got new music out and he's killing it, and he's actually on tour right now. Yeah.
So, no way.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing his thing, man. It's so
dude,
cool.
Hell yeah.
Love Tyler, man. But yeah, man, dude. So more projects coming. There's a couple more shows coming out next year that I can't say just yet, and then some things I'm currently working on right now. Right before we did this podcast, I literally got a call that I booked another show that I can't say, but I'm excited to work on that one too.
Well, I have a feeling that we will be talking again at this table and have another opportunity to discuss further projects.
Listen, as my co-host / friend, I'm going to make sure I give you plenty of things to interview me about. It's my job, my duty.
And you have to interview me about my thing coming out.
You've got a couple of things coming out that I'm going to interview about.
My second feature film as a producer.
Yeah. That's it right there. And it's a sweet one. So I wonder, do I need to put my hat forward and then yours backwards when we interview? Is that how we do it?
Yeah.
We'll just switch off. And that's how we know who's the interviewee.
Hat. I like that. I got the piece of paper.
Let's go. I'm going to get mine.
Makes me official.
Someone give me a paper, gosh darn it.
It was switch C.
Welcome to Studio 22. I'm sitting with my co-host / friend, Will Meldman.
No, not yet.
Okay.
This is still my interview. This is still my interview.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. Bobble your heads, boys. Bob and weed, baby.
So, hell yeah, man. I see we spend a lot of time together, and even I didn't hear all those details about working and what it's like on set and the people you met and the vibe. So, like, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And when can people watch it? It's Friday at when?
So you can watch it at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock, and it's got new episodes every single Friday. It's a great time, man. It's just a great time.
Dude, I'm like really looking forward to the episode.
I am too, actually, because I had a lot of fun filming this episode, although I think Uli might have put some lifts in his shoes, man. I was looking a little too tall there when he standing next to me. I'm a tall guy. You're a little too tall, Uli.
He's trying to get the height advantage on you.
No, he's got the height. I mean, like myself, we have the height advantage on most.
Right.
So it's just to me, I think the thing is, I'm so used to being tall that it feels normal to me. So when I'm looking someone dead in the eyes, I'm like, this is weird, dude.
Right.
It's like hanging out with JaVale, he's like, what the heck are you talking about? Or like
JaVale's tall.
Yeah, there's a couple people where I'm like, dude, this is what it's like. I don't like this, man. Just sit down, bro.
Like with you and Pearson when we took the photo, you and Casey when we took the photo. It's like, can we have shorter guests on?
We got Rachel on, dude. Rachel Zales. I wonder if she's our shortest guest, actually.
Oh, we don't measure our guests.
No, but Rachel, her one of her claim to fame is that she's fun size. She says it all the time.
We love you, Rachel.
We love you, Rachel, and you are amazing. One thing I didn't get to talk about, which I think is somewhat interesting, is the amount of time I spent in the makeup chair, dude.
Take us through that process.
It was wild, dude. I've sat in the makeup chair a few times. Sometimes they don't give me makeup. Sometimes they do. Depending on the character and the project, and got to get my hair did. Dude, 8 hours on the first day
for the bald cap and the wig, and the handlebars and all that. 8 hours.
And shout out to hair and makeup, because those women killed it. They made probably and these are not exact numbers, but I would say probably a $20,000 wig setup for like $500. And again, don't quote me, but that's pretty close to what it was. So the fact that they did it from absolute scratch, and then they took me, someone who has hair more than halfway down my back, and made it look like I had nothing, with so many different, I can't even explain how you do. I could tell you right now, it was painful. It wasn't not painful. But they got it flat, and then the bald cap, and then building out the hair, the makeup to match, dude, and dyeing my eyebrows. It took like 35 minutes for 4 women to shave my entire body. That's how much hair I have on me, which was both surprising and terrifying, I think, for everybody involved. But we did it. We got through it. And
you got to be a wrestler, right? Like you have to do
to transform, Yeah. So shaved the whole body, basically, handlebar mustache, white eyebrows, bleached mustache as well, and the tan was off the charts. We did quite a few layers of the tan.
But I can imagine, like, with your lion's mane of fucking hair, like trying to make you bald is like probably impossible. Like, they did a great job, but like the task of doing that.
The funniest thing about that was I'd been on set, a few different times at this point, and a bunch of the cast members had never seen me before. And they either didn't know who I was or they didn't recognize me. So because I was playing Hulk, right? So when they started to take out my hair and take the wig off, and they pulled like 97 clips out of my hair, and then it was just insane. And it was the funniest reactions of, like, Stacy, for example, plays The Rock's mom. She looked at me and she's like, "You had all that in there?" Like what? Like, yeah. And it is true. It's crazy, because you see this person in front of you who looks like Hulk Hogan for the most part, and then you have me who, I don't think I look. I know. Well, now I look like him. Yeah, they did a great job, but I'm drastically different because of my hair and my facial hair, and like. But then they made me. I just crazy. It was
Hollywood magic, dude. It's
magic.
Yeah, man. Like, those hair and makeup teams can do wonders.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. And they were working on so many great projects too. So I got to hear some of the cool stuff they're working on. Some big projects coming out and stuff. And it's just cool, man. Because that's one thing I love about this industry too, is a lot of times not only will people work on so many different sets, obviously it's going to come with, the territory of working in film and TV, but sometimes they work with people that you know and you love and you adore, or on shows that you're big fans of, and you get to hear like some of the, stuff behind the scenes.
Gossip.
Sometimes gossip, but mostly it's like we love that person, or there's such a great. It's all usually all good things.
No,
man.
it's a community.
But no, it is exactly that though.
Yeah.
You're right. No, there's sometimes a little gossip. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what they're saying about me, to be honest with you. Like that guy was miserable. No, but I had a lot of fun, man, and I'm excited to go back and excited to keep working with. I'm just excited to keep working, man. I love work and I love what I do, and I want to keep expanding on it, keep moving more down and deeper into the path of storytelling. It's what we do, baby.
Dude, it's honestly amazing, and it's so cool being on a show, portraying a legend, on the show of a legend, surrounded by legends. It's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's so cool.
Well, hell yeah, man. We need to do more episodes like this. I enjoy this.
Say no more. I got plenty of shows.
Well, hell yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
I hope you all enjoyed this inside look at Brock's role as Hulk Hogan on the Young Rock on NBC.
Yeah. If you have any questions about my experience, leave them in the comments. We'll get back to you.
That's a wrap. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. O'Hearn.
My pleasure,
It was a
Mr.
pleasure.
Co-host, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio 22.